The galaxy was quiet that night as the alien empire floated in the darkness, their massive ships glowing softly under the distant stars. Inside the central lab, scientists worked on something no one outside their species could ever imagine, a warp drive that could tear through space faster than any ship known. The technology was so advanced, even their generals could only guess at its full power. Far away, on a hidden human observation station, the young engineer named Jara watched through a small viewport, her heart beating fast. She had studied alien movements for months, and now, finally, she could see the warp drive in action. Sparks flew as the machine powered up. Strange lights danced across the control panels, and the hum of energy filled the room. Jara whispered to her team, "This is it. This is the chance we've waited for." The aliens believed no one could touch their secret. They were proud, arrogant, and confident. They laughed among themselves, talking about how no human could ever come close to understanding their technology. Yet Jara knew humans were clever, persistent, and unpredictable, and she had a plan. Small, simple, and dangerous. The first night was the hardest, sneaking into the shadows of the alien labs, hiding behind walls and pipes, avoiding sensors and patrols. Every step was a risk. Every breath could be the one that gave them away. The humans moved slowly, carefully, gathering small pieces of data, sketches, and observations, nothing that could be detected easily, but enough to begin their work. Inside the lab, an alien engineer noticed a slight anomaly. A panel flickered. Lights blinked in a pattern that wasn't supposed to happen. "Check the system," he ordered, voice sharp and suspicious. Jara held her breath on the observation deck, hoping no one would notice the small fluctuations she caused. The tension was thick, like a rope pulled too tight. Every second stretched. Humans back at their secret base worked quickly, decoding the partial data they had collected. Diagrams filled the walls. Machines whirred as they tried to replicate what the aliens had built. It was slow, but humans had patience, determination, and creativity, qualities that no alien empire could fully understand. Then came the moment that made every human heart pound. Jara discovered a pattern, a small flaw in the alien system, something no alien had noticed. If used carefully, it could allow humans to copy a key part of the warp drive. But doing it was dangerous. One mistake could destroy everything. Yet, humans were not afraid. They were brave, resourceful, and ready. Night after night, the humans worked, always hiding, always learning. The aliens continued their experiments, unaware that their secret was slowly slipping from their hands. The suspense grew, and so did the humans' confidence. They were close, closer than ever. Finally, Jara looked at the data spread across the table, her eyes wide. She smiled, knowing that humans had the knowledge to begin the first step, to build their own warp engine. It was a small victory, but it was the start of something greater, something that could change the balance of the galaxy. And as the alien empire slept, confident in their invincibility, humans prepared to take a leap that no one had thought possible. They had hidden the truth, observed the enemy, and now they were ready to act. The galaxy was about to see what humans could do when pushed beyond their limits. The human base was alive with quiet energy, machines humming, lights blinking, and minds racing. Jara and her team had gathered the first pieces of alien warp technology, and now the real challenge began. They had to understand it, break it apart, and rebuild it in a way no alien could predict. Every part they studied was strange, unlike anything humans had ever seen. Glowing circuits, shifting energy flows, and moving cores that seemed almost alive. The engineers stared in awe, touching carefully, measuring, noting every detail. Each mistake could ruin months of work. But humans had patience, creativity, and courage. "Focus on the energy matrix first," Jara instructed, her voice steady but her eyes full of excitement. "If we can understand how they control the warp field, everything else will fall into place." The team nodded, diving into the complex patterns, drawing diagrams, and running simulations. Outside, the alien empire remained unaware, but small signs began to worry them. Energy readings flickered where none should have been. Security systems registered faint traces. "Someone is tampering with the system," one alien officer growled, his antennae twitching nervously. "Find them, now." Back at the human base, tension was thick. Every noise, every signal made hearts pound. Humans worked in shifts, carefully dismantling what they could, without alerting alien sensors. Sparks flew from machines. Screens flashed bright light. and the air was thick with concentration. Each success brought smiles. Each failure brought new determination. Days passed, humans slowly piecing together the secrets of the warp engine. They discovered alien logic that seemed impossible. Yet humans adapted, trying small experiments, testing and failing, then learning, again and again. Jera watched as her team grew stronger, more confident, ready for the next step. A sudden alarm sounded in the distance, a probe from the alien empire scanning nearby space. Humans froze, knowing discovery could mean disaster. "Hide everything," Jera whispered. Machines shutting down, screens going dark. The probe passed slowly, a shadow in the sky, and then moved on, leaving humans breathing again, hearts racing. After the scare, work resumed with even more focus. Humans had learned that speed alone was not enough. Strategy and cleverness mattered more than brute force. They had to think like the aliens, predict their moves, and always stay one step ahead. One breakthrough came unexpectedly, a small anomaly in the alien design that the engineers spotted. "This could work," one of them said, pointing at a glowing panel. "If we use this differently, we can create a stable warp field without triggering alarms." Jara nodded, excitement sparking in her eyes. "Then we begin the first prototype." Humans moved carefully, assembling a small-scale model, energy flowing through it in controlled bursts. The machine hummed, lights flickered, and for a moment, it seemed alive. A test jump was made, the warp field rippling slightly, and then, settling perfectly, humans cheered quietly, knowing the first step had succeeded. But the aliens were not blind, and the tension was far from over. Signals from the probe grew more frequent, and somewhere far away, alien officers debated the strange readings. "They are learning faster than expected," one said, confusion in their voice. "We must act before it is too late." Humans did not know exactly when the aliens would strike, but they were ready. Their skills had grown, their minds sharp, and their hearts determined. They had turned the alien warp technology into something humans could control, something that could change the balance of power in the galaxy. And as the first human-made warp prototype sat glowing in the quiet lab, the team knew the next challenge would be even harder. But they were ready, smarter, and braver than ever. The race against the alien empire had only just begun, and humans were not going to lose. The human lab was buzzing with quiet excitement, lights flickering across the walls as engineers worked tirelessly. The first prototype had succeeded, but that was only the beginning. Humans knew the aliens were powerful, but they also knew one truth. Humans were clever, adaptable, and unstoppable when driven. Jara paced in front of the main console, eyes scanning energy readings. "We have the data, the blueprints, and the patterns," she said, voice steady. "Now we can build the full warp engine, faster than they ever imagined." Engineers nodded, hands moving quickly, assembling parts, connecting circuits, and running simulations, every motion precise, every calculation careful. The aliens had no idea, still confident that their warp technology was untouchable. But humans had learned, observed, and now innovated. They saw weaknesses, small flaws in the alien design that no alien had noticed, and humans used these flaws to work faster, smarter, more efficiently. One engineer called out, "We've completed the warp core alignment." The room went silent, every pair of eyes fixed on the glowing core. Energy surged through the prototype, humming and vibrating as if alive. The warp field stretched across the test chamber, bending light, creating small ripples in space. Humans held their breath, waiting for the first jump. The test was a success, just a small leap, but enough to prove the concept. Humans had not only copied alien technology, but improved it, making the warp drive faster, more stable, and more adaptable. Jara smiled, pride filling her chest. "We are ready for the next stage," she said quietly, almost to herself. Outside the lab, alien scouts picked up unusual energy readings, confusion rippling through their ranks. "This should not be happening," one officer said, scanning the reports. "They are learning too quickly, advancing faster than our projections." Humans could not see the aliens yet, but they knew the moment of discovery was coming. The tension grew, like a tight string ready to snap. Meanwhile, humans pushed forward, constructing the first full-scale human warp engine, every piece meticulously crafted, every connection carefully tested. Engineers worked day and night, driven by determination, courage, and hope. Jera oversaw each step, correcting mistakes, encouraging the team, never letting fear take hold. Finally, the moment arrived, the first human warp engine ready for activation. Engineers gathered around, hearts pounding. They powered it slowly, energy flowing through every circuit, lights flickering, and then, a soft hum turned into a steady resonance. The warp field stabilized, glowing with a soft blue light, bending space before their eyes. Humans had done it. They had built a warp engine faster and more efficiently than the aliens ever could. The room erupted in quiet cheers, smiles and tears, pride and disbelief mingling together. Jara looked at the glowing machine, knowing this was only the beginning. This engine was the key to a future where humans would not be controlled or limited by any alien empire. But the suspense was far from over. Somewhere in the dark corners of alien space, signals were being traced, alarms sounding, and fleets preparing. Humans had gained an advantage, but the enemy was about to react. The race for supremacy across the stars had truly begun, and as humans prepared for the first warp jump, the galaxy held its breath. Unknown dangers awaited. Alien retaliation loomed, but humans were ready, their minds sharp, their courage unwavering, and their determination unstoppable. They had taken the first step toward surpassing an alien empire, proving that no technology, no secret, could outmatch human ingenuity. The alarm lights blinked red across the human base, warning of approaching alien fleets. Sensors had detected massive warships moving through space, faster and closer than anyone had expected. Jara and her team froze for a moment, then moved quickly. They had anticipated this, but nothing could fully prepare them for the scale of the threat. Outside, the stars streaked as alien ships jumped into the sector, their weapons glowing, engines burning. The aliens had realized humans had surpassed them, and now they wanted to stop them before it was too late. Humans scrambled, preparing their warp engine and defensive systems. Every second critical. Jara gave orders, calm but firm. Activate the decoys, move the engine to the hidden chamber, and prepare for warp. Engineers ran, their hands steady despite the tension. Machines worry, lights flashing. Every human knew that failure was not an option. They had come too far to be stopped now. The alien ships scanned the area, beams of light cutting through space, searching for hidden signals. Humans ducked behind asteroids and used stealth maneuvers, clever tricks the aliens had never expected. The chase began, fast and deadly, ships weaving between debris, energy blasts lighting the darkness. Inside the base, the warp engine hummed, glowing with potential. Jara monitored every reading, adjusting energy flow, coordinating human pilots in the field. Every move required precision. Every decision could mean success or annihilation. Engineers watched anxiously as the first ships approached their hidden base, lasers glinting against the hull. One of the alien commanders snarled, "They cannot hide forever," and launched a strike team to board the human station. But humans were ready, setting traps, shutting doors, and creating false energy signatures. The aliens were clever, but humans were unpredictable. They always found ways to turn danger into advantage. A sudden burst of energy erupted outside, a human ship jumping in and out of warp to distract the alien fleet. Explosions lit up space, alarms blaring, but the humans moved steadily, carrying the warp engine components to safety. Every maneuver calculated, yet daring, thrilling, and impossible to predict. Jara took a deep breath, guiding her team. "We need one final jump to reach the safe zone. Prepare the coordinates." Engineers aligned the warp core, energy surging through the circuits, lights flickering as the field stabilized. Outside, alien ships closed in, their frustration growing. The tension was unbearable. Every second stretched, hearts pounding, as humans counted down. 3, 2, 1. Energy flowed, space bent, and the first human ship with the warp engine jumped into the void, leaving alien ships behind. Confused and furious, humans cheered quietly, knowing the chase was not over, but victory was close. Their strategy, intelligence, and courage had allowed them to escape, showing that humans could outsmart even the most advanced alien empires. The aliens would regroup, but for now, humans had won a critical battle, proving that ingenuity and determination were stronger than raw power. As the hidden human base settled, engineers catching their breath, Jara looked at the stars with a mixture of pride and caution. "They will come again," she said softly, "but we are ready, and we will not fail." The chase had taught them much, and humans had adapted, becoming faster, smarter, and stronger. And in the silence after the storm, A quiet hope settled over the team. The galaxy had seen only a glimpse of what humans could do, and soon, it would witness the full power of their courage and innovation. The war for the stars was far from over, but humans had proven they could face any threat. The human warp engine glowed softly in the quiet base, humming with raw energy. Engineers and pilots gathered around, excitement and nerves mixed in every heartbeat. Gera stepped forward, her hands steady as she activated the final sequence. The first full-scale human warp jump was about to begin. Outside, alien fleets had regrouped, scanning the sector for signs of human activity. Their commanders were furious, realizing humans had not only copied their technology but improved it, faster, smarter, and more efficiently than they could imagine. "This cannot be," one alien officer hissed, eyes wide in disbelief. Inside the human base, everything was ready. Coordinates set for the first interstellar jump. Energy flows aligned perfectly. Engineers double-checked every system, their hands moving quickly but carefully. The room was tense with anticipation, every human knowing this jump could change the balance of power in the galaxy. Gera gave the order, voice calm, confident. "Engage warp field." Lights flickered, energy surged, and the warp engine hummed louder, creating a shimmering bubble that stretched across space. Engineers held their breath as the ship vibrated, the stars bending around them. And then, with a flash of light, the human ship jumped, tearing through space faster than any alien fleet could follow. The warp drive worked perfectly. Humans had mastered what no other species had. The galaxy outside was a blur, stars streaking into lines, the void folding around their vessel. The alien fleets could only watch, powerless as humans escaped and established a new position far beyond their reach. Their advanced technology was useless against human innovation. Humans had outsmarted, outworked, and outlasted them, proving once again that determination and cleverness could overcome even the most powerful enemy. Back on the ship, engineers cheered quietly, smiles lighting their faces, tears of relief and pride shining in their eyes. Gera looked at the glowing warp engine, a sense of triumph filling her chest. Humans had not just survived, they had surpassed. They had taken alien technology, studied it, improved it, and used it to carve a path through the stars. Messages were sent to other human colonies, news of the first successful warp jump spreading quickly. Humans everywhere celebrated, proud of their ingenuity, courage, and perseverance. The galaxy would remember this day, the day humans proved they could reach further and faster than any alien empire. But even as the humans celebrated, Gera knew the journey was not over. The aliens would not give up. New challenges would come, threats would rise, yet humans were ready, smarter, braver, and more united than ever before. Every trial had taught them, every struggle had strengthened them, and now they had the tools to face any enemy. And as the stars stretched into streaks of light through the warp field, Gera whispered softly, "We did it. We showed them what humans can do." Engineers nodded, hearts swelling with pride. The hidden warp technology, once a secret of alien empires, was now a testament to human skill, courage, and determination. The galaxy had seen the beginning of a new era. Humans were no longer limited, no longer hidden, and no longer weak. They had proven that intelligence, creativity, and courage could surpass even the most advanced civilizations. And as the ship sailed through the infinite stars, the message was clear: humans would not just survive, they would thrive, conquer, and explore.